Full Gear. I'm kidding. Hello and welcome to Cricket and Wrestling for Us. And you are here on our special edition of the predictions for AEW Full Gear 2021 happening on Saturday night, which means we can actually watch it properly rather than, cutting days off work or hours off work and trying to sort it out. As always, I have Aman, my special guest referee. I'm kidding. You're not a special guest referee anymore. You are genuinely, you and Herbert? I can't remember the name. That old guy, the one who is like in every video game. Do you remember that referee's name?
Earl Hebner.
Earl Hebner. You are Earl Hebner, my friend. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
It's good that you're doing your day job because that intro was terrible.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll come up with a song. I don't even have a song. I just have CM Punk at the start of every video because I was like, that's probably the best song I could come up with. But anyways, thankfully, we're talking about something that's going to be very interesting. And let's get down to it. First off, before we get started, are you excited about AEW Full Gear?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the AEW pay-per-views are similar to like takeover events now, where you get really excited about what's going to happen, and every match is can't miss. So yeah, really excited. Fantastic.
Okay, so let's get started. And again, I've done this in a random order. Okay, it doesn't mean this is what we're predicting, that this is the order of the card. This is just my prediction of what the card probably will be. Okay, so let's get started. First match, I believe, is going to be this one. No, I'm kidding. Like I said, it's just a random order. So let's start talking about this then, Aman. So we've got an amazing match ahead, right? We've got the Super Click or the Elite Young Bucks and Adam Cole, baby, versus Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and unfortunately the lesser of the two brothers, who are not really brothers. Like, to me, Edge is so much ahead of Christian, but that's another discussion. Christian Cage, I know they're not brothers, okay? Don't worry, man. But yeah, who do you think, right? What are your predictions for this particular match?
I think the Bucks and Cole will win. I think it's just going to be another, like we've got used to, like big high spot fest 6-man tag team match, where there's just going to be move after move after move and spot after spot after spot, which will be really entertaining and really fun to watch as well. But I do think that the Super Click will go over. The only thing that really annoyed me about this whole program and this whole build was when they gave Adam Cole the concerto on a Dynamite, and then he was wrestling like 2 days later. I was like, that makes no sense. It should have just given it to the Bucks. Should have took that shot because they weren't wrestling. So you could have easily had them just be like, well, they're not here because they just took a concerto 48 hours ago. Yeah.
No, I agree with you that, because the thing is, right?
Confused me.
AEW usually doesn't make this mistake. This is like a WWE mistake, but definitely, or maybe they're just trying to, say that the concerto is maybe not as dangerous of a move or a hit that someone can be out for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. What do you think?
I just think it damages the psychology of the move, like. For years and years, when we've seen it in WWE or any other place, that move has typically been designed to injure a wrestler, write them off, make it look like they're really injured, and then they come back with a huge fanfare and this and that. So for somebody to take it and then be wrestling 48 hours later, all right, fair enough. There was points where he was referencing it throughout the match with John Silver, but it diminishes the impact of that move, I felt. So that was and like you said, we don't really normally say that about the psychology in AEW, so that was a bit of a head scratcher.
No, I get that. But you've called the Super Click winning. It's false count anywhere, okay? So my prediction is Luchasaurus is gonna hit like this monstrous move, and then Jungle Boy is gonna pick pin Adam Cole. So I've got that in my head. So for me, it has to go to the Jurassic Express plus the lesser of the two brothers from the there's no. What was the name of Edge and Christian? What did they have a name for that like group or?
They were just called Edge and Christian.
Very inventive. So yeah, again, I think Jurassic Express and
when they
Cage
were
are
with
gonna win.
Gangrel, they were with the Brood.
Ooh, yeah, that's true. No, I'm not gonna call it that. I'm not gonna call it that. Oh,
Best entrance music ever.
Oof.
One of the best ever.
yeah, one of the best. 100%.
I listen to
100%.
that entrance music to this day.
Oh wow! You know what? I've heard it a couple of times, and then I heard it in like the recent match, Edge and Seth and stuff. Yeah, that was an interesting take. I didn't expect Edge to win. By the way, we had this discussion before. This is not WWE, Ashton. This is not WWE. This is AEW. So you're going left. I'm going right for this particular match. Let's get down to the next one after that. So I've got Lucha Brothers versus FTR. So this is going to be a very, very interesting match because Lucha Brothers, you got Rey Fenix, you got, oh my God, Rey Fenix is a genius, man, right? The way he moves, genuinely, I just want these guys versus, what's his name, Pac and Ricochet and Rey Mysterio, just all in one ring. That just brilliant. So again, as you can tell from my excitement, I don't like FTR, right? I do not want them anywhere near this. So what I'm predicting is that Lucha Brothers wins this quite easily, I'll say. Obviously, they're going to do the whole, like, yeah, we found it difficult. But I think Lucha Brothers for me. What about yourself?
I think the Lucha Brothers will retain in this match. But I do think that it's a good clash of styles.
Yeah.
Like the Lucha Brothers are really high-flying, really acrobatic, really exciting tag team, and then FTR are just your very stereotypical mat-based professional wrestlers, essentially. And that's what their whole gimmick is based on as well, that they're like a throwback and they're with Tully Blanchard and stuff like that. But I do think it's going to be a good match. I'm a fan of both teams, but I do think that the Lucha Brothers will retain.
Yeah, I think that's kind of obvious. And obviously, both of them hold some sort of title, don't they? You've got the AAA tag team titles and the AEW world titles. So I don't see them shifting the AEW world titles onto FTR at this moment, unless there are shenanigans or some sort of, Blanchard doing some crazy things and distracting the Lucha Brothers. But I think, like you said, Lucha Brothers for the win for me as well. We go to the next match. Now, we've got your favorite, Tay Conti. I'm kidding. I don't know if she's your favorite or not. But we've got Britt Baker versus Tay Conti. Is that how you pronounce it? Is it Tay Conti? Tay Conti. This is probably the easiest one I'm going to give you. I think Britt Baker's going to win this with her dentist move that she hits. And she's just going to... There's not going to be many... I don't see it as a non-clean finish. I think this is the cleanest finish we're going to find. Britt Baker's just here, and Tay Conti is about, just not here. And yes, she's won the entire tournament to kind of get here. But yeah, for me, Britt Baker. What about yourself?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it'll be a clean win for the Doctor. But
Dentist.
I do think that they will help. It will help elevate Tay Conti in this match. She probably won't go over, but I think the aim for her is to get over, as in terms of the fan base and everything. But I just feel like Britt Baker is running out of credible baby faces to face. They need somebody strong and big. Yeah, exactly. Like they need somebody like an Ember Moon, like a Mia Yim, or
anyone released from WWE, right?
Ruby Soho. Maybe they can get people from New Japan or from Impact or somebody. They need a credible babyface because she's just running out of people to face.
Yeah, 100%. And the thing is, her reign, and I know people don't like making this comparison, but you got two heel champions at the top of both cards. You got Kenny Omega and you got Britt Baker. Kenny Omega has a plethora of potential opponents, right? probably we'll get to it, but I think Hangman Adam Page is probably going to win, right? But he's got so many potential people he could wrestle, right? With Britt Baker, there's no one that seems to be at that level, right? Thunder Rosa they're probably going to do, from what I understand, but no one else. Like you said, it needs to be someone comes from the outside. But yeah, Britt Baker is going to win this quite easily, I must say. It's not going to be a 30-minute banger. I think it's probably going to be like 15 minutes, and Britt wins.
If that, yeah, probably.
Yeah. Next, we've got the Minneapolis street fight between the two teams that you're not too excited about. I know you don't like American Top Team and all that stuff, right? However, I am super excited about this one. Number one, you got some legit fighters on one end, right? And then you got, Scorpio Sky. No, I'm kidding. I know. I was just making a joke. But you got the Inner Circle versus the American Top Team and Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page. SCU, right? That was their name before, wasn't it? When Christopher Daniels was around, right? So I liked the change in Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page, that kind of thing, but it's gonna run dry. And after this feud, I think they need to go away from the American Top Team. I have a feeling of that, because American Top Team potentially could become their own thing. Because yes, people are talking about they need to lose because this guy, who's the guy in the middle, the guy who talks all the time, what's his name? What's his name? Right, Dan. Right, Mr. Dan. What you need to do is get beat up by Jake Hager, then by Sammy Guevara, then with those two tag team dudes, and then by Chris Jericho. That's all anyone wants from this particular match, right? It's gonna be really interesting, but I don't see American Top Team and Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page winning this one. I find it very highly unlikely that they're gonna win unless there's a what do you call it? An allegiance change in the Inner Circle, which doesn't seem like it's gonna happen. But unless there's some sort of change like that, I don't see anything else barring Inner Circle winning. What do you think?
Like you've said, this hasn't been my cup of tea, really. I haven't really enjoyed it. And fair enough, you want to get outside eyeballs onto the product, and it's brought you a lot of mainstream press. But I'm not sure if you saw what they did on Dynamite this week for this match. I just thought, I just thought it was sloppy.
Yeah,
especially the beat downs from the MMA guys. I mean, Dan Lambert trying to powerbomb Chris Jericho from the top rope. He nearly dropped him because he didn't have him held up properly, like nearly slipped on the rope or something. Okay, fair enough, they're shoot fighters, but they're not professional wrestlers, are they? And I think the way you book this match is you need to put them in positions where they can look the best. If you are just going to let them go out and let them wrestle and just punch and do this and that, it just looks sloppy.
Yeah,
you need to put them in positions where they're going to succeed, and I think that's where it falls down to Ethan Page, Scorpio Sky, and then the Inner Circle guys, because they're all vets. They all have years of experience in comparison to the rest. In terms of who's going over, I just think it depends on where you want to go with this story. If the story finishes, then Inner Circle should win the match, blow the feud off. That's it. But if you want to put more and more stock in Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky and then the American Top Team faction, which you have placed so much TV time over the last month and a bit, you make them win and then you continue the feud, which I hope they don't do, just personally, my view. But I think that is where they're going to go. And I think that they'll probably make Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page and American Top Team win, just so that they can make Dan Lambert this even more unbearable character. And he can come out screaming on TV and say, see, you tried to do this to me and look what I did. So
do you know what? And this is probably wrong of me to say, I don't expect that kind of result from AEW. And again, they could completely push us in the wrong direction and shock everyone. But I find it hard to believe that Dan Lambert's going to win, as in American Top Team, and those guys are going to win, just because I like the feud. Like I said, I've actually liked the feud. It's just that I don't see it going anywhere. Where can it go? It's like doing a Hell in a Cell match first up and then having a normal match afterwards, if you know what I mean. Like if you're having a special match with specific conditions and stuff, then obviously they're gonna try and end it all in there. And for me, again, like I said, for me, Chris Jericho's gonna do the.
They did this, so like what you're saying, they did this with the Inner Circle Pinnacle feud. I mean, how many gimmick matches did that feud have? They had like the Stadium Stampede, and then they had.
That's why it ran out of steam. It ran out of steam, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It ran out, and then that MJF for Chris Jericho thing, the Labors of Jericho, and then he beat him, and then he was like, "I need a rematch." It just went on for long. So I can see your point. If this is a blow off, blow it off. Just have your baby faces win, move on. But what does that do for your heels who you're trying to establish, particularly Sky and Paige?
Yeah. It'll be an interesting decision. And, you know, there was a picture going around where Tony Khan had a piece of paper. He had some crosses. And I don't know, this was like a while ago. And he'll be sitting there thinking, what do I do? What needs to happen? And then Jericho walks in and he's like, we're winning this. And then just walks out. Because Inner Circle, for me, definitely needs to get this one. So glad we're both on a similar page. But I agree. If it's a blow-off, good guys win. If it's not, then you get these guys. And you make the same mistake you made with the Pinnacle and the Inner Circle not too long ago. Next match, we've got a match between two unlikely foes, because goodness me, CM Punk cuts such good promos, and then Eddie Kingston cuts really good, interesting promos. Because to be honest, not an Eddie Kingston fan, but I'm only a fan of his promos. I'm not a fan of his wrestling. I'm a fan of his promos. He's so good at what he says, and the way he says it, right? The way he phrases things kind of gets you all riled up. I love it. Absolutely love it. In this particular match, this is the funny thing. Everyone's saying that Kingston's the babyface. I'm going to ask you this first. What's the dynamic here? What's the dynamic?
Oh, I don't know. I was thinking the opposite, you know. I think Punk is treading that line between a heel and a babyface and a cocky babyface, where he was like, why would I expect you to reach the greatness that I thought you would reach because you're a bum in that promo. And I think that the way I perceive the story anyways, I think Eddie Kingston is your babyface who came up with people like Punk and Bryan and Samoa Joe and Cesaro and all these people. And they all achieved success. They all became big names, whereas Kingston struggled and stayed true to his roots on the indie scene, never got that big break because AEW has given him that big break. And here comes CM Punk to steal the spotlight again, the limelight. So I think Kingston is your babyface in this. And it could be, if you wanted to go that way, have Kingston go over, have him hand Punk his first loss, and it's almost like a redemption vindication story where he's like, see, I told you I could live up to the potential. It took me longer to get there, but I did it, and I did it by beating you, the biggest naysayer. So if that could go that way, but then again, it could go the other way. As things stand, who is the bigger name out of these two? Punk. Obviously, it's CM Punk. So you could have Punk go over because he at this point in time draws more eyeballs to your product. But I just think from a story perspective, it would be easier if you had Kingston win that match, and then you could have like Punk and Kingston shake hands and stuff at the end, and it's just a feel-good moment, vindication. Eddie Kingston is validated. That's it.
That's an interesting take on that, because I can't see it go any other way barring Punk winning, right? Kingston came out, picked a fight with him, right? Punk came out, became cocky, as you said, like he's treading that line. He's treading the Cody line, but better than Cody is, right? and then like the backstage fighting and all that stuff. I think CM Punk's gonna get a very good fight out of Kingston, but in the end, he's gonna hit the GTS. He's gonna win it. I think he's gonna win it. Like Punk's gonna win this one, and Kingston's probably gonna lose his mind and go full heel. I read this somewhere, and I can't remember where it was. I read it somewhere yesterday or the day before that, oh, Kingston is one big loss away from becoming heel. And I was like, that's an interesting take. So for me, I think I'll probably go down that direction. I think Punk's going to beat Kingston. Kingston's going to get absolutely angry, very, very angry, and then he's going to lose it. And then that will be his story moving forward, that he becomes kind of a heel. But again, that's my prediction. For me, it's CM Punk, but I like your theory, you know, Eddie Kingston taking this one and giving Punk his first loss, because who else, right?
You could also throw in some like wrinkles or another story about everybody knows about what's happened to John Moxley, and I'm sure we both hope he gets better soon and is back wrestling and everything. But you could have Kingston come out and say, well, what gives you the right to come out and make this public proclamation in front of everybody that he hopes he gets better and everything? Where have you been for him for the last so many years? I was his best friend. I've been through his highs and lows. Even if that's not true, for a story perspective, you could say all that sort of stuff and be like, why do you get to become the hero and the good guy and preach all that when you haven't been there in his darkest of times previously? So that could be just like another wrinkle that you throw into that story as well.
Where's Tony? Tony, get this guy as your writer, dude. Come on, let's do this. Let's do this.
Tony told me.
Oh, that's brilliant. Actually, I like that. I like that. Next, we've got the match I've been waiting for. We've got Darby Allin, MJF, AEW youngsters, you can call them, AEW, the ones who are going to take the reins off of Sting and Jericho and, you know, Kenny Omega eventually, right? You've got all those big names. These guys in like less than 2 years have all basically come to that level. They're fantastic. Yeah. I want Darby Allin to win. I really want Darby Allin to win. However, the better story is that MJF wins and then goes for the title against Hangman Page. Because as I said, I don't know if I said this before, but for me, Hangman Page is freaking winning against Kenny Omega. But we'll get to that shortly, okay? I think MJF is probably going to take this one. What do you think, man?
I'm conflicted in this, you know, because they both lost at the last pay-per-view. I think Darby lost to Punk and MJF lost to Jericho. So who can maintain that credibility and sustainability with another L?
Darby Allin.
If there's shenanigans and it's dirty finish, then yeah, okay, you can get like Darby Allin to take the L. But I'm not sure. I'm going to go with MJF, and I think that they prolong this feud a little bit longer, then you blow it off, and then both men go their separate ways. What that is, whether I'm not sure whether MJF is ready to be back in the title picture right now. If like you said, if Hangman does win the championship, then of course he's another baby. He's a good heel that that MJF is a good heel that you can place him against.
Yeah.
But I think they will give the win to MJF, because I just think you should just try and milk this character for all it's worth for as long as you can. Just make him the most unbearable, insufferable person you have ever seen. Just make him a you, essentially.
Wow, I was not waiting for that drive, but I was not expecting that. Well done, man. You finally did it on camera. He does it all the time off camera. I finally done it on camera. Everyone knows it now, but that's pretty funny. I like that. I like that. Let's make him unbearable. Just like, you know, I'm rubber, aren't I? So anything you say, bounce it down. I'm just kidding. That's just very, very childish for me. But yeah, we both agree MJF needs to win this one. And I would, yeah, I would say MJF for sure. Next up, we've got the match that no one really wanted to see. You want Pac and Cody Rhodes versus Malachi Black and Andrade El Idolo. So I've got a feeling, I've got a strong inkling that Pac and Cody are gonna win. They're gonna win, and then for some strange apparent reason, Cody's gonna go heel, or vice versa. Cody's gonna go heel at the end of this pay-per-view. That's my feeling. All right, he's gonna go heel. So if Malachi and Andrade win, Cody's gonna go heel, like 95% chance, in my opinion, going heel. But my the better feeling I'm getting is the fact that Pac and Cody both win, and then Cody eventually does go to the dark side. I think even though he wins, he has to channel some inner darkness in him, right? And this is very WWE, but that's my like thought process, that he channels some inner darkness, some black goo on his head, right? Some black goo over his face. It becomes like blue and black and becomes Stardust. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. He's not going to become Stardust, is he? But what happens is, I think Cody's going to go heel, but at the same time, I have a feeling that Pac and Cody are going to take this. What do you think, Aman?
To tell you what, this is the match I'm least looking forward to.
Yeah.
On the whole card.
This is WWE. This is literally
just you could see from a mile away that this was happening.
Yeah.
When Cody made the save in a few weeks ago on Rampage, I can't remember what the match was, but he made the save, and then they were teasing it, and then you could see from a mile away that this was happening. Yeah. I am completely uninvested in whatever Cody is doing right now. Wow. Really not bothered anymore. I have given up on a heel.
I'm bothered.
The train has left the station for a heel turn. Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if Pac and Cody go over, but I would want Malachi and Andrade to go over in this match because they need it. Yeah. They need it. Pac and Cody are established. They're there. Although I don't really know what they're doing with Pac. Sometimes he comes back, sometimes he leaves. But I think Malachi and Andrade need to win this match.
Yeah, they do need a win. I agree with you. They do need a win. They've been losing far too much. But again, okay, that's good. At least we have some conflicting opinions on this one. Next, we've got the semi-final, the final of the tournament, which decides the next, contender for the champion of AEW. Got Miro versus Bryan Danielson. Now, I think it was going to be Moxley versus Bryan, wasn't it, initially, and then Moxley had to go. But I would have called Danielson beating Moxley in that particular match. And I don't think they're going to change their mind. Again, Miro versus Page or Hangman Page, because that's, like I said, I'm completely banking on the fact that Hangman's winning, right? So Hangman versus Miro would be a great match. However, Bryan Danielson is known as the best in the world, right? Like, actually, not just the phrase that CM Punk uses, but he is that good. He's so technical. He can do almost anything in the ring, right? So I'm going Bryan for this one. I think Bryan, he was going to win initially against Moxley, and I think same here. He's going to beat Miro. He's going to become the #1 contender and face Hangman Page. Now, this makes me rethink my entire theory of Hangman Page winning, because if Bryan Danielson wins, then he's going to want the rematch against Kenny Omega, right? Which didn't really turn to much. So, confliction. Go on, Aman. You tell me your opinion.
You took the words out of my mouth. It depends. What you do with this match depends on your outcome of the main event. If you have Hangman Page go over and win the championship, feel good moment, brilliant. Crowd's going to go wild. Everybody's going to be really happy. But then right after that celebration, if Miro wins, you bring out Miro, destroy Hangman Page. There, you've got your heel and your next babyface feud set. If you have Danielson win this match, I think you're going to have Kenny win the main event, just because you will have Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega again. But I think you can get to that match anyway. You don't need the title. That is just a pure wrestling match, like a wrestling fan's dream match, which we've already seen before. And look how good that match was. So you don't need the title for that match. So I think they're going to have Miro go over Bryan Danielson here. And ever since he's come to AEW, I just think Miro has been on another level. Absolutely another level.
Yeah. He's a different beast in AEW than he wasn't really a beast in WWE, unfortunately. But yeah, Miro, interesting. Let me just go back. So you're saying Miro, I'm saying Bryan. So another interesting prediction from both of us. But yeah, whichever one happens, it definitely counts a lot on this particular match, which is going to be the main event. All right. If Omega wins, you got Bryan to come outside, right? They do a face-off, blah, blah, blah. But I get where you're coming from. I get where you're coming from with that. For me, like I've said many times already in this video, I can't believe this is a half-hour video. I was trying to make it short, but it's all good. We're going to do this. We're going to power through. Hangman, Adam Page, is going to absolutely get wrecked, but also win the title. Finally, Adam Page is going to win the title and come back to Minneapolis. I don't know where this is going on, but Minneapolis. All right, to Minneapolis. He's going to become the champion, and he's going to face Bryan Danielson next time around. So, your prediction, my friend?
I personally, the fan in me wants to see Hangman Page win this match, because I think that this has been the most slow burn, long-term story that they have told since the beginning of this company. That he had insecurities, he had issues, he didn't had confidence issues, didn't believe in himself. The Dark Order came, brought his confidence back. Kenny and the Elite dropped him. They became villains. It has been such a huge story. This is your payoff. That he wins the big one against the person who made him feel this way as well. But I don't know if you've seen on like social media for the last few days, there's rumors that Okada is coming from New Japan to AEW.
Wow.
And I don't know if anybody's watched it, or if you've watched it, please do watch the matches if you haven't. Okada and Omega have had some of the most amazing matches in New Japan. So that could be a possible avenue that you might want to go down if you have Kenny retain the championship. But then I don't know what you do with Hangman. I think you can have that Okada-Kenny match without the title either, and it'll be just as good. But I think Hangman goes over.
Good, man. We agree on who becomes the AEW heavyweight champion over the world. Well, I don't know why I said world twice, because forget it. Right? Anyways, yeah, I agree. I think Hangman's going to win. But Omega and Okada can have a match without a title as well.
Yeah,
they can do that. Similar to the Bryan Omega thing you mentioned earlier. Fantastic, Aman. Thank you so much for going into such detail. I absolutely enjoyed myself. Loved it. For everyone watching, please do give your predictions in the comments below. We're going to do a post AEW Full Gear review on Sunday or Monday as well. So please do keep a watch out for that. And yeah, just tell us your predictions, because this was really hard. I thought it was going to be easy, like quick and easy, simple. I could easily do it. But no, it was a tough one. This one was actually tough to predict. Thank you very much, man, as always. And until next time, everyone, take care, stay safe. I'll catch you next time.